Hello and welcome to episode 80 of the Game Train podcast. I'm Callan Davison. Here's Karl Lyrical Smith with me right now.
Hello, hello.
Hello. We are back with episode 80 here. It's very exciting stuff here. We've got a big show again this week. We're going to be talking about a bit about the Mafia trilogy. We're also going to be looking at some more Assassin's Creed Odyssey. Karl played a bike game where he rides a bike down a hill. He's very excited for.
Yep.
And of course, we're going to be reviewing Final Fantasy VII Remake, which is the big one this week. We've taken our time getting around to reviewing it, but here we are. But before we jump into all of that, we should kick off the news. What do you say?
Yeah, let's do it.
All right, here we go. All right, so kicking off the news tonight on the 21st of May, 2020. I should actually start saying the dates in our podcast for those that do listen at a later date.
So they know we're not talking about crazy stuff that's been like news for years.
Yeah, exactly. All right, so yes, 21st of May, 2020. What have we got here? We have Nintendo dropped a trailer out of nowhere for Paper Mario.
Yeah.
And the Origami King. I mean, they legit shadow dropped this trailer out of nowhere.
Just so unlike Nintendo.
They
normally have all this worked out.
They're playing their own game here, Nintendo, I think.
They always have. I mean, they make cardboard pianos.
Yeah, that's right. So, yeah, that was really exciting. And that is coming out, funnily enough, July 17.
No, wait, man, that's not far at all.
I know. And do you know what else comes out on July 17?
I do.
Ghost of Tsushima, which Sony showed off an 18-minute gameplay demonstration of the other night.
Oh, I think they were just flexing what gameplay means.
Do you think so?
It's fine. I'm sure it was planned for ages, but it's just funny the timing right after the grand reveal of Assassin's Creed Valhalla's gameplay.
Yeah.
And then
gameplay, as we say here.
Yeah, what they showed of Ghosts was so nice, but it's exactly what I expected them to show of Assassin's Creed Valhalla.
Yeah.
Where they talk you through it, and explain everything in this beautiful shots. But man, what did you think of it? Yeah,
look, we've seen teasers for this game over the last 3 years now.
Yeah.
3 years have been slowly teasing this one. And we really didn't know what the combat was going to be like up until now.
Yeah,
and
true that.
I think the thing that surprised me the most was that it's very Assassin's Creed-like.
Yeah, I mean, I think I'm excited for that, but I'm just so all Assassin's Creeded out at the moment.
Yeah.
I am excited. Like I was hoping for more leaning towards Assassin's Creed style than another Souls-like samurai game. This would be the fourth one.
I would have been all in on that Souls-like samurai game. I don't know. It'd be
just like Sekiro and Neo.
Yeah.
And Neo 2.
Yeah.
Like those games exist.
I love them. I love all three.
And they're still new and fine.
Another reveal that happened from 2K was the Mafia trilogy is all getting remastered. So they've released definitive editions of Mafia 2 and 3. So of that, they've just, updated the graphics a little. But they're doing a full-blown remake of Mafia 1.
Damn, that's cool.
So that's coming out in, what have we got here? I don't have the date. August. It is out in August, though. And it's a full remake. It's a new game engine. It's an expanded story and a re-recorded musical score.
Now, when you say new game engine, do you mean like they've made a new one, or it's a new one, not the same as the first Mafia?
Not the same as the first original Mafia. Yeah, so they've put it into an... Yeah. Button Mash Pod is here saying, please don't get Mafia 2 on PS4. We'll be talking about that in our games we've been playing in a minute there, sir. Rog, how are you tonight? I hope you're good. And Dev Paul wants to know, Any news on a remake of River Raid? It's a classic game. There is no news on a remake of River Raid.
No current news.
No, but
not as yet.
Yeah, no current news. No studios are currently developing a River Raid remake. There you go, news. You heard it here first on Game Train Podcast.
That's right. Exclusive podcast news. Nothing current going up current in the river.
Also, we're in that stage where all these game announcements are happening, and another one has been announced. This one is called New Game Plus Expo. It is happening on June 24 at 1 a.m. Australian Eastern Standard Time. Some of the developers involved are Sega, Atlas, Koei Temco, and Natsume. And guess how long it runs for, Karl?
Oh, how long?
Just take a guess.
An hour and a half.
7 hours.
What?
7 hours this presentation's going to go for. From 1 a.m. to 8 a.m.
What? Is it like
because I told you
play?
I told you the news before the show, but I didn't tell you how long it ran for. I love this reaction from you right now.
7 hours?
7 hours. I don't know if I'm going to be able to sit through the whole thing on that one.
No, it's going to have to be like something playing in the background.
Yeah. 7 hours, 1 a.m. to 8 a.m. on June 24, New Game Plus Expo. So,
is it going to be good 7 hours? Like
I really don't know. Or is it all just going to be all these Japanese games that we have no idea what's going on?
But that's all of the hours.
Yeah. 7 hours on that one. So, have you got any news on your end?
Look, no, I do not.
Oh.
I mean, there's the Unreal Engine 5, right?
Yes, correct.
We have to talk about that. We didn't talk about that. So Unreal Engine 5, they revealed their new engine, and they revealed it being played through a PS5.
Mm-hmm.
Not to be mistaken with revealing the new PS5 exclusive gameplay. It's the new engine from Unreal that like half of all the games are going to be made on once that's available, as is Unreal at the moment, which runs just like nearly every second game you see. So please don't mistake that for a PS5 reveal.
But they were showing it running on a PS5, which was technically our
running
first
on a
PS5 gameplay.
Yes. Game...
It was gameplay. Because you could play through it.
It's not a real game.
But you could play through it.
Yeah, so it's like our first look at PS5 technology.
Yes.
I guess.
Yeah.
It's a tricky word these last couple of weeks, the old gameplay, isn't it?
Yeah.
But it looked fantastic. So the PS5, we at least know, is capable of some like jaw-dropping visuals.
Mm-hmm.
It was just incredible. Definitely go watch that if you can. It goes for about 8 minutes, I think. And,
something like 8-9 minutes, yeah.
It was like lighting and sound, and they were talking about pixels, like triangles the size of pixels, and hundreds of billions of triangles in that demo, contained in that demo. It was
and then they can
amazing.
Take full res movie assets and put them in games too,
instead of video game assets, which are usually a lot smaller, so that they run smoother.
Yeah, so that was really interesting. So Unreal Engine 5 will be released to developers next year, so 2021. So we probably won't see any software really made on it until about 2023, 2024.
Yes.
And it probably won't be until a couple of years after that people fully utilize the engine to its maximum capacity. So we won't see games that look like that game that we saw for years to come, but it's exciting at the same time. And you know what? The amount of people online, it was a really cool little demo where you play as this lady going through these caverns, and she's got like this little like spirit light thing, and it reflects off all this stuff, and then she goes through this flying thing as it's all crumbling around her at the end. People were screaming for this game. They're like, we want the game. Yeah.
They always end up doing that though when they do these demo things. Do you remember they showed one for like Square Enix once, which wasn't a Final Fantasy game, but it kind of was, and it was.
They showed a Final Fantasy VII remake years ago on the PS3 tech demo, and back then people were like, "Oh my gosh, give us Final Fantasy VII remake because that looks incredible."
Oh no, I'm talking about a different thing. It was a similar thing. Like they were just showing off their technology,
Mm.
but it was about like there was a red dragon, and I can't for the life of me remember it. And there was this girl, and she had like a cloak on, and she had a cup and running through like these dusty streets, and you could see the dragon flying through, and it was incredible. But yeah, it was another one of those situations. Or there was that, I think another Unreal one,
Mm.
maybe. Um, might have even been the Unreal 4 original demo, but there was like that one was a lot more sci-fi, and there was a shootout on the roof or similar things. They always come up with like really cool short stories sort of thing, and great characters and awesome games, and you always want it. And I've learned to let go really quickly.
Mm-hmm.
Just be like, that doesn't exist. That's not a game. It's not coming. Just forget about it.
Yeah.
And if it comes, that's a win. If it
This,
doesn't,
this reminded me of Aloy meets Tomb Raider.
oh right. No, what was it? Tomb Raider and Assassin's Creed when she jumps off that edge.
Yeah. We got
And then
any
a bit of
more?
Anthem.
We got any more news, or are we gonna roll out of there?
Let's see. That's kind of the main bits and pieces, I guess, for this episode.
Cool.
Yeah.
All right, and that's the news for this episode. I really need to sharpen that sound effect up and make it smaller, because I sit here for a couple of seconds after I press the button.
Yeah. Just chilling.
All right, so games we have been playing this week. We've been playing games again because that's what we do as gamers.
Yes, it is. That's what we do as COVID age gamers. Oh, look, Dev Paul says, by the way, congratulations on episode 80. We didn't even mention that. That's a pretty big milestone.
That is a
The
big
old
milestone.
8-0.
Yeah, that's right.
I'm pretty happy with that.
We're slowly creeping towards episode 100.
Oh, slowly but surely. It only like half a year to go.
Yeah, I've got an idea for episode 100, by the way.
Wow, that's early, but cool.
Yep.
I'm down. We'll have
Yeah.
a meeting.
Yeah. So yeah, games we've been playing. What should we kick it off with?
Games we've been playing. Well, I want to hear about yours because I haven't yet.
Oh, okay.
So tell me.
Okay, so Mafia 2. We spoke about it in news. The definitive edition is out now.
Yep.
I've been
It
playing
dropped,
this.
Was it today? Yesterday.
Yesterday. So I started playing it on PS4 last night. I streamed it, by the way, on this channel. And if you aren't currently watching, please follow on twitch.tv/GameTrain Twitch. Would be much appreciated. Love to have you all here. So yeah, it's a remake. It's a remaster of the 2010 Mafia 2. I'd never played Mafia games before, so this was new to me. So
You didn't do 3?
nope.
What?
Nope.
Oh, okay. Who
So,
did I whinge about that with?
I don't know.
Someone.
So yeah, pretty much you're playing as, like a criminal working your way up the mafia ranks, pretty much, in like a 1940s America. It's an open world like GTA, but it's a much smaller open world. It's nowhere near the size of GTA games.
Is it more like LA Noire?
I'd say so, yeah. Yeah, it's a lot smaller city, which actually I appreciated because I didn't want to delve into a big game, especially an older game as well. I think I really would have struggled going through that. But because I realized it wasn't that big of a game, I was like, oh yeah, okay, this is cool. So the game split up into 15 chapters, and I think I'm on chapter 8 now.
Oh wow, okay.
Yeah, so I've gotten a fair way through it so far. And yeah, look, I wish I'd have played it back in 2010. Because I could have seen back in 2010 going, oh my god, this is amazing.
Oh, damn.
But, it's a remaster, so it's not full new visuals. It's all cleaned up visuals and upscaled visuals and things like that. It looks okay, but it's a game from 10 years ago. Right?
Yeah.
But sadly, there were a few bugs I encountered throughout this as well.
Okay.
For some reason, the sound would only, when the character spoke, would only come out one speaker. If you skip a cutscene that has music in it, like, because, I reloaded a game or whatever, and there was music playing that cutscene, and I skipped the cutscene, the music repeats itself over and over and over again.
Oh, no.
For some weird reason, I had a 2K... the first time I booted up the game, I had a constant saving icon in my top right corner. So I restarted the game, and then it was a 2K symbol up in the top right corner the whole time. I'm like, what? And
hell?
there's been some glitches where enemies haven't spawned, so I've just been stuck. There's been frame rate drops as well.
Okay, this is full on.
Yes, there's a couple of issues with this definitive edition, but when I looked past all that, it's actually still a good game under the hood, right? There's still a good game there.
Wow.
It's got a really cool storyline. I'm really digging the storyline. The shooting feels nice. But it's a game from 10 years ago. There's just been up-resed a bit, really.
Yeah.
And I think that, and I'm going to talk spoilers now because the game's 10 years old. My favorite bit of the story so far is during the 1940s, you actually get put in jail. And then several years pass. And then you come out of jail. So then now it's the 50s. So all the music so the game starts off in like winter, but when you come out, it's like, I don't know, spring or whatever. So it's all snow at the start, and then you come out and it's all green. Some of the city's been built up. All the music's changed on the radio. There's all new cars on the road, and all this. So
that's kind of
it was
cool.
really, and this happens not at the start. This happened in chapter 7.
Wow.
Yeah. So you play through
like halfway. Almost.
Yeah, about halfway through the game. It was really, really cool. I really dug it.
That's ballsy.
Yeah, I really dug it. So yeah, it makes everything feel fresh again.
Yeah.
So it's not the biggest open world, but they made it feel fresh when you come back. Now I haven't really done many of the side activities at all. I've just been busting through the story, so I can't really talk side activities.
Yeah. Okay.
But yeah, and also those old cars, their handling sucks, but I think that's deliberate.
Is it though, or is that a bit of a scapegoat?
No, I don't know. But yeah, that's
we'll leave them with
Mafia.
that.
That's Mafia 2. But I'm gonna finish it because it's not an overly long game. I just want to see what happens at the end. But I'm very excited for the full ground up remake of Mafia 1, which is coming out in August. So that should be really cool when that does come out.
Those cars will have better handling, I bet you.
Well, I think that one's set in the 30s.
Ooh. Well, now you'll know if it's deliberate or not.
Yes.
But
So
that's going to look really cool.
I hear you've been playing a game.
I have been playing a game. I've been playing Lonely Mountain Downhill.
Wow.
It's so cool. I got it on Switch because it just seemed like the perfect Switch game. I caught wind of it somewhere online. And someone was saying, you got to get this game. And, you won't hear a lot about it because there's not a huge, publicity budget or whatever.
Mm-hmm.
But it's so fun. And I played it a bit and it was like really enjoyable. And we put it on the big screen and I had my brothers staying over with me. It was just last night. I've been playing for a few days. And I said, you guys got to try this out. And they're like, it's pretty blocky, but it still really moves nice. I'd love to see what it looks like on Xbox. So we jumped on to check it out. And it was on Game Pass. So it was just free anyway. And it's only like 450 megabytes.
Yeah.
So it downloaded in like 2 seconds. And then we suddenly looked and it was so much smoother. So it's got like a polygonal kind of graphics. I don't know if you've ever played Crossy Road on the mobile.
No.
But it looks a bit like that. It's like colorful and blocky and like, polygonal kind of graphics, but really, really accurate and smooth physics.
Mm-hmm.
So it kind of works a bit like that. A little bit like Trials, but less forgiving on the bike, especially at the start. And basically, you're just going down a hill, but it's always quite scary because you're coming towards the camera for most of it. Kind of like those tricky Crash Bandicoot levels.
Mm-hmm.
So you don't see a lot of the level. So they let you play through basically this, I think there's 4 mountains, and on each of those mountains, there's like 4 tracks.
Okay.
Big, long sort of tracks that you have to play through them and learn them. And they all have like heaps of different shortcuts. And because it's physics-based, you can go straight off the beaten track and land on a rock or bounce off a tree or something if you land correctly and cut off huge parts of the track.
Okay.
And beat your time over and over. And so it's all just based on leaderboards. Kind of like, your Tony Hawk's or your Trials, and that's how the multiplayer works. You're not playing 2 players with people, but you're playing with friends and just shaving off seconds and seconds. And it works just like a rally game in that each of the sections are, like each of the tracks are broken up into like 5, 6, or 7 sections. That thing I showed you today, where I was 13th in the world, that was just one of the small sections of the track.
I thought it was the whole track.
No, that's why I filmed it the way I did to show you. If I went down a bit more, it says section 7. So because I was maybe like 3,000 or 4,000th in the world, maybe more, like 11,000th in all the other sections. But one section, I mistakenly bounced off a rock and slid down a tree and skipped like 2 of the whole like cliffs and just went from one checkpoint straight into another. And I was like, holy moly. And then I looked at the end and they're like, yep, that was the 13th best in the world. I'm like, yeah, but it was a shitty time. But just in that section. So I filmed it for people who don't know.
So many lies coming from you right now.
Yeah, I paused it and showed the leaderboard. And when I sent it to Callan, I zoomed in on my name and then I showed like leaderboard, worldwide, all time, not even just today, best of all time, 13th on this track. But as I was scrolling down, I stopped scrolling before it said section 7 of 8 sections.
Wow, I've been lied to. I've been lied to.
Have.
Reefy says, try out the last Oasis.
Oh, the last one. That's the MMO?
I don't know.
You should try out Last Oasis, he says.
If it's an MMO, I'm saying well clear.
Also,
survival MMO. Oh my god, I'm in.
Hell to the. Oh no. Yeah, you're in for survival.
Survival MMO. Sign me up, Reef. What are we playing on?
Oh goodness. All right.
Bye, guys. I'm out. PC, yes.
PCC.
All right, guys. I'll be downloading some Last Oasis after this.
Oh no, there goes Callan. All right. Is it free, Reef? By the way, for people who are listening to this on our podcast channels, we are doing this live. That's what's going on. We're just talking to some of these guys chatting on us on Twitch. So if you guys ever want to check us out, it's just twitch.tv/GameTrainTwitch. And I say that, but we don't have any schedule. So you have to follow us.
Yeah.
Because we just jump on there and then you get a notification that says, here we are and we're on. And then we'll be sort of recording like 10 to 15 minutes after that. So
yeah,
the only way to know when we podcast live, if you want to jump on and, heckle us from the sides or tell us how great Callan's beard is or how much I love fun.
Or Karl's lies.
Or yeah, you have to just jump on and follow us. You can follow me too, but I don't even remember my own Twitch. So maybe just follow Callan and us on Game Train Twitch.
Wow. Okay, so the other thing we've been playing is Assassin's Creed Odyssey. So Karl spoke about it last week, and he's like,
yes.
Callan, you got to play this. Callan, you got to play this. And
Please play.
And then, well, actually, before that, I played Lonely Mountain. I played it for 5 minutes and turned it off.
Yes, because that's how Callan plays all good games, like Sunset Overdrive.
No, well, you don't play good games like DayZ. You refuse to even play them, so that's the difference right here. At least I give it a go.
That's not a go.
DayZ is on Game Pass, by the way, everyone as well. So it is free for those Game Pass holders. Anyway, so he finally wore me down on Assassin's Creed Odyssey. I was like, dude, I finished the main campaign. I haven't played it for like a year. I don't know how I'm going to get back into this game because we know it's such a huge game. He's like, nah, you'll be right. Well, after a couple of hours of fluffing about, I started off the First Blade, Legacy of the First Blade DLC. So there's 2 DLCs for Assassin's Creed Odyssey, Legacy of the First Blade and Atlantis. Both are split into 3 parts each. And so, yeah, I jumped in the First Blade and it took me a bit to get back into the game again, but I eventually got it. I'm playing through it and I'm like, this is actually quite damn challenging. Like, I like every fight I was going into was difficult. And then I finally got to... I went through Legacy of First Blade, which was great. It's just a continuation of the story. There was some controversy over the story. I see why people got angry, but yeah. We're not going to really go through that, but it was a cool little storyline. It was about 15 hours worth, though, for this one part of the DLC for Legacy of the First Blade. About 15 hours worth of content. And
that's all on the same map, but at a part of it that you didn't really go to.
Yeah, you go to 3 different regions that takes part in, and you didn't really go to them in the main game. You could have gone there if you wanted, but you didn't have to in the main story. So it was cool they utilized...
Just for hunting or something.
Yeah, it was cool they utilized those areas. And then kicks off Atlantis DLC. I started that after I finished Legacy of the First Blade, which is also 3 parts, which is Elysium, Underworld, and Atlantis. Right?
Yeah.
And so I started Elysium, and I'm like, Karl, this is ridiculous. Like, this game I don't get it because every fight is taking me so long to do. Karl's like, oh,
Yes.
why don't you actually try putting some points in some specials? I'm like, oh, yeah.
Yeah.
So,
Because there's new abilities in this DLC.
yes, there is a bunch of new abilities, but I went and upgraded some old abilities and grabbed some other ones because I realized I had 2 wheels worth of abilities I can put on my character instead of just one. And oh my gosh, I started smashing.
You had a whole wheel free?
Yeah, I started smashing face all over the map. It was insane.
Yeah. Yeah. Oh,
So
it's a beautiful game.
Karl's sitting there giving me crap, going, "Oh, the game's not hard. I'm going fine. What you're struggling is like your Dark Souls, is it?" Well, it's because I had no skills equipped, Karl. That's the difference. And then it was easy as.
This guy.
You're
welcome for having fun, by the way.
So, I've been playing the new DLC, which has been awesome as well. Like this other, the Atlantis part. Again, it's another 15 to 20 hours worth of content, I'd say.
Yeah, and it's gorgeous. Like Elysium.
Oh, yeah. Elysium is gorgeous, which is like sort of the heaven in the game. Then you go to the Underworld, which is very dreary and dull. But we see why they did it, because when you come out the other side into Atlantis, it's probably one of the most glorious locations I've ever seen in an Assassin's Creed game.
Yeah, really. And I mean, I guess I haven't seen anything like pretty like that since maybe Assassin's Creed 4 Black Flag.
Yeah. Yeah,
You know?
it was, I can't really explain how it looks. Karl kept sending me, like, little screenshots to the corner of his TV and stuff. I'm like, I don't know what that is, Karl. And I got there, I was like...
It was a palm tree.
It was funny because he was on the voice chat with me when I got to Atlantis, the third part.
Yeah, and he was like, oh, what?
Yeah, like, it's substantial DLC. It's a big story that goes through all these new areas. So these are 3 new maps that they added to the game. And there's, as we said, there's new skills. You can keep leveling up past level 50. And then that storyline eventually continues into the next Assassin's Creed, Valhalla, and that's sort of why I'm doing it. But it's amazing amount of DLC for the price that you pay for it and the amount of hours you get out of it.
It's not just hours and money. It's actually like fun and interesting. Like they intertwine different parts of the old gameplay back into it, but with slightly different, elements. And just the fact that they give you 3 whole new maps and you can go back and explore them at your leisure once you finish the story part.
Yeah.
But they're just really beautiful places to explore.
Very, very cool. All right, I think we should roll into our review this week. What do you reckon?
Yes, I think let's make that a thing.
Okay, here we go. And we are reviewing this week Final Fantasy VII Remake.
Look, I'm involved in things. Dangerous things. So keep your distance.
What was his name again?
Cloud Stripe. This is a one-time gig. When it's done, we're done.
All right, here we are back on the podcast here. That was our little Final Fantasy VII intro. Did you enjoy that, Karl?
I did. I was watching intently.
Yeah, that was very cool. Yeah. You enjoyed that. All right, so Final Fantasy VII Remake has been in development for many years now. So the original Final Fantasy came out on the PlayStation 1 back in 1997. And it is regarded by many as one of the greatest RPGs of all times.
Yes, as one of the greatest games of all time by many.
Yes, that's correct. So this remake has now just come out. We heard about it about 5 years ago, and they slowly drip-fed info, and they finally released it. Now, they announced that it's going to be in several parts. So this is part 1 of the remake series of Final Fantasy VII, and this goes up to the end of Midgar. Now, Midgar, in the original game, was only about 4 or 5 hours long. It was pretty short. They have managed to remake Midgar in this, but extend it out to about 30 hours of gameplay.
Pretty cool. Also, by the way, we don't know how many parts there are, just that there are parts.
That's right. It could be 20 parts.
That's an important piece of information.
Yeah. I reckon it's going to be 3 parts.
Well, that's the hope. That'd be nice.
Yes, that's right. So yeah, again, it's developed and published by Square Enix, of course. At the moment, it is a PlayStation 4 exclusive, but it probably will come to Xbox and PC down the track. The storyline is, again, it's you play the character of Cloud Strife, who is like a mercenary, and you join up with this team called Avalanche, who are pretty much eco-terrorists. They're just trying to save the planet and fight against this the Shinra Corporation. That's pretty much the gist of it. And along the way, you meet all these wonderful characters, and you go on a big adventure. But of course, as we said, this one ends at the end of Midgar. But what they've done is turned the first act of the original game into a full game with a 3-act structure in that game.
Yes.
Right? That makes sense. So there's a beginning, there's a middle, and an end. But there has been big changes to the storyline as well, which I can't go into because of spoilers. But
yes,
they do throw up a whole lot of new stuff. Like they add new things into the game, or like expanding old story parts, but then they add a bunch of new story parts. For example, I will talk about this bit. The character of Sephiroth normally comes into the game, like you see in the original Final Fantasy VII, you see him, just flashes of him in Midgar, like his sword of people and things like this, You don't actually see him. It's not until you leave Midgar and get to the town of Calm and Cloud retells the story of Nibelheim when he went on a mission with Sephiroth. That's the first time you actually see the character. This time, though, you see him right near the start of the game. Cloud starts having flashbacks in the game as you're wandering around and stuff. Now,
I've seen him.
You've seen him. Well done. That was an interesting take on it. There's also these weird ghost things that come into the game as well, which float around and do weird things. Can't really go into.
New?
Yeah, can't really go into why they're there, but that is all new as well, and that was something that
I didn't know that.
Yeah, yep, that's something different as well. But yeah, I think the biggest point that I can talk about was that how early they introduced the character of Sephiroth. There was no big build up to him this time. I loved the build up in the original. Like the build up was freaking awesome.
And it makes you fear him more because you don't know what he looks like and who he is. And he's more legendary and frightful. And so they kind of lost a bit of that.
Yeah. But I see why they did it, because he's such an iconic villain, and not to have him in this part, people being like, well, where's Sephiroth? And it would have been like, well, he's not in that part. You got to wait for the next part, mate. But anyway, so they've remade this game from the ground up. We're talking everything from the graphics, from the game engine, to the music, which they've reorchestrated. Everything is
voice acting,
everything. Okay, so let's start with the new graphics. The new graphics look incredible. Like, tell me your thoughts on the original Final Fantasy VII graphics, Karl. I know you've got opinions on this.
I'm one to play whatever games. If you guys actually see the game that I've been playing lately, that downhill bike game, then you've seen Final Fantasy VII. It's very much polygons, and to me it's unplayable for me because I've missed the nostalgia. It's not like going back to a 16-bit game, which ages so well. And to me, the threshold is like about Final Fantasy 9-ish. Even 8, which is my favorite, still looks a bit rough on the edges. But 7, oh man, they have like balls as hands. They look like Mii's, little Nintendo Mii's running around with little spiky hair. Like, it's just horrid. But the backgrounds are gorgeous because they're pre-rendered.
Yeah.
And it's just this weird mishmash of different styles of graphics. And I've jumped in twice to try and not replay. I did attempt it once when it was like out, when it first came out. I remember playing it with a friend, and we just sat there going, yeah, this is going to be the best thing ever. We turned it on and we're like, wait, you got to choose attack? Yeah, nah, I'm out. And then we canceled it straight away because we'd never chosen attack from a menu before. We didn't understand the concept of RPGs at the time. So I've tried recently to jump in, several years ago, and I just couldn't do it. It just was like, this is gross. Those are my thoughts. Yeah.
Wow. So anyway, Final Fantasy VII is regarded as one of the greatest RPG games of all time. Which this guy just bird poops on as he flies across.
Well,
You know, like, oh, hey, melodrama, and hello, Sin Spacies. Wait, another podcast already. You guys are crazy, lol. Yep.
yeah, we don't play, man. This is COVID time.
Yeah, this is COVID time, man. We can drop this weekly, man. This is actually, I forgot to say this at the very start of the episode. This is the first time we've actually gone, we're going to do one next week, and then we popped up the next week and did one.
I know. We should be called the Game Train Liars.
You're just the only liar here, sir, with your scores.
I am.
But
hey,
yeah,
it's real. I'm the 13th best in the world, mate. All time.
yeah. Okay, you keep telling yourself that on checkpoint 7.
Still, it is.
Yeah, it's very exciting for you.
guy.
I'm very happy for you.
Final
So
Fantasy
yeah,
2.7.
the graphics. So yeah, they've gone from the old blocky polygons and they're fully revamped, and the game looks absolutely incredible. Like,
Oh, yeah. Stunning.
they've fully expanded Midgar. Like, and what was one of the coolest things for me in seeing Midgar in this way was in the original you couldn't really move the camera anywhere. Like, as you said, pre-rendered backgrounds, etc.
Yes, you saw
It was
what
amazing
they
being
showed.
able to just tilt the camera up and look up
Yeah.
at the Midgar plate, which covers the slums, because you spend a lot of the game in the slums, which is on this big plate. It was just cool, and you see all the big pylons holding up the plate and all the lights up there and all this. So things like that was just incredible to see.
I'm so glad you brought that up. Looking up was such a like awe-inspiring event. It was just at a random time. There's no reason. Like, I remember probably just like you, just walking around a bit, and then you kind of like tilt the camera and you're like, oh, what's that? And then you keep looking and you're just like, oh my God.
Yeah.
That's what it looks
So
like.
it was like a new perspective on Midgar as well. And some areas have been heavily expanded, like Wall Market. They've done a full redo of Wall Market, which they made it a lot bigger. It's a lot seedier. But it was just really, like, the art direction they went there was really cool. I can't wait to see what they do with the Gold Saucer later on. Like, that's going to be incredible.
Oh, man. I love the gold saucer.
Yeah. So yeah, just like even just the start of of the train coming in, Cloud jumping off the train, I was just like, when it was happening, like all these classic moments was very cool to see in full new updated graphics. It was incredible.
Especially the parts that are still 1-to-1.
Yes.
Which are only kind of very early in the game. Which for me, I got to enjoy the nostalgia because that's the only bit I've done 3 times.
Wow.
So I was like, yeah, the train bit. I'm like, and that's me.
Since Spacey's asked Tifa, Air of Tifa. Okay.
Tifa all day.
Yep. So the new
Jesse.
combat. So
Correct answer is Jesse.
No. They've changed the combat in the game. So you said the original was turn-based. You hated having to push attack. So now they've gone...
I used to, not anymore, but yeah, I did.
They've gone for almost a combination of 13 and 15's combat merged into this new 7 remake.
Yes.
So they brought the stagger system across from 13, but they kept the fluid movement around the battle like in 15. So you can run, dodge, attack. You can build up your limit breaks or other special attacks. You build up ATB bars while you're in combat. And you control one character at a time. The computer controls the other ones, but you can switch characters at every time. Build up the ATB bars, which is the active time battle bars, and
to use moves and magic.
To use use special moves, use magic, use items, etc. So
curing and
it was an interesting take. It took me a little bit to get used to it. I got to admit. At first, I was like, oof. I think I would have almost preferred just old school turn-based combat. Old school style.
Yeah, the trickiest bit is as you switch to other characters, that's when you build up your ATB for them.
Yes. Yeah, because
once yours is full, you want to quickly switch away to fill someone else's.
Yeah. And actually, I found with the materia system, which, well, let's talk about the materia system. It's very similar to the original, that you find pieces of materia, put them into weapons and stuff. But there are new pieces of materia that do different things. Like, if you cast fire, one of your other party mates will cast fire as well. Things like this.
Yeah.
So using things like that, you'd go into a battle with a certain strategy. Like, okay, Tifa builds up the ATB bar the fastest. So I'm going to use fire with her, switch to her straight away, use fire, and then someone else will back up with that to do heavy damage or whatever. Or or okay, I'm going to use Tifa for a while to build up the stagger meter, or the enemy's far away, I'm going to use Barrett with the gun because the others can't really get to him as much. But then as the enemy comes closer, I'll switch into Cloud for like heavier attacks on it, or things like this. So,
Yes.
and the summon system is back again. It's something that will just randomly kind of happen in battle. Like you'll see the summon meter sort of build up, and then you can summon. So it's not something you can constantly throw down like in the original.
Yeah, so that's kind of a bit more like 10.
Yeah,
in a way.
Yeah, I'd say like 10. I'd say one of the biggest highlights for me though, like we talked about all this stuff that's been redone, battle system, graphics and stuff. It's the damn music that got me.
Oh yeah,
music
is awesome.
I had it here, and now I don't really use my soundbar with bass speaker too much here. For the full 30 hours, I had that thing blasting. Everyone around me in other units would have been able to hear that music going at full bass, full volume. It was...
Wow, they probably had a tear in their eye.
It was incredible. Like, sometimes, when that music kicks in, and I'm just, like, the era theme is just, like, the most heart-crushing theme in the whole game. And it's just, peers throughout the game. The battle music just gets you hyped up. The boss battle music as well. The Shinra music was awesome. The only music that let me down was the Turk music.
Okay.
Yeah. I really loved the original. The Turks' music was very simple. It was like a bass line and clicking sort of thing. It was a very simple beat. They went, as Sin Spacey said, it's like they fed the orchestra a Red Bull to record it. Like, I think they went over the top with, like, the Turks' theme. But I think a lot of the other themes sound, like, quite good. Like, they've thrown in, like, extra electric guitars and things like that. I do miss, like, the sort of bell that they had from, I think it's the reactor theme, or is it the Shinra theme? I can't remember now. It was one of the two. It had a very iconic, like a big bell sound in it, and they wasn't as established. Just little things like that. But for the most part, I felt the music was quite good, and it just brought back so much memories. Reactor, there we go. Thank you, Sin Spaces. Yeah.
Oh, this guy, he knows what's going on.
Yeah, he knows.
Thank you, Sin Spacey.
Yeah. So, again, there are boss battles in this game and all that, which were some of the funnest battles in the game, even though they took a while to kill some of them. But it was a lot of fun.
Yeah.
Like, I think,
especially early on.
Yeah. Well, I think my favorite battle in the whole game was, I can talk about it because it happened in the original, was the battle with Rufus on the rooftop. So you fight Rufus Shinra up there when he comes in, and I don't know, there was something about that battle that I was just like, this is just awesome. So one-on-one battle, Cloud versus Rufus. So it was just like this simple style battle, but it was so much fun.
Damn.
Yeah.
I haven't done that one yet.
No, you haven't, because it's near the end of the game.
Right, that makes sense.
So tell me your thoughts on the game, because you haven't played through all of it, but I'd like to hear what you think of the game.
Yeah, well, straight away, because I'm a huge fan of 15. So I saw a lot of those tendencies in there, and fighting just felt unreal. It was like fun to do, and those two things where you switch between the two modes, what is that called again?
There's Punisher and Operator mode.
Yeah, that. There's its own strategy within that too. It's almost kind of like using stances in some other different games where one's aggressive and fast and one's a lot more strategic. And that all comes to play, and that's with each player as well. So I love the complexity yet still simplicity of the battle, because you can kind of just battle mash through it button mash through it, I should say, if you're leveling up properly and stuff. I never played 7, as you know, so I never realized the simplicity of the materia system as well. I really love that. So that got me really quickly, and I was like, oh, okay, I can tell why this is enjoyable and strategic and fun. It's one of those easy to master, easy to learn how to master things where you just you have a choice. All your weapons give you a bunch of slots, and that's where you put your magic or your ability to cure, or your ability to see how much health someone has. Like all that old school stuff I haven't seen. So I love seeing that old style integrated in this new kind of game, and they're putting like new mechanics to make it enjoyable. Like I love that it's a remake and not a remaster. The graphics are just stunning, like gorgeous. It looks like you're playing Advent Children, you know, which was the old Final Fantasy VII movie that they made. And then I saw Tifa, and then I just paused it, and that was the end.
Wow. I can see why. Thank you so much for the host in Spaces. I loved how the icon came over Karl's face. I almost lost it in the middle of that. It was brilliant.
Wow.
It was brilliant.
Trying to be serious, man.
We've flipped the panels around, Brian, so we're on the right side now, but I had to move the alerts over to his face just to keep up consistency there.
Of course.
So they've taken a 4 to 5 hour segment of a game and expanded it into a 30-hour game. Now, of course, what's going to happen when you do that?
Wow.
Thank you for the videos in Spaces. That's brilliant. Love it.
Wow.
So what's going to happen when they expand a 5-hour part into a 30-hour part? They're going to add stuff in like side quests. So there's a lot of side quests in this game that you can do. I think the biggest issue for me, I know some people hated side quests. I thought they were okay, you know, but sometimes it felt like a bit of bloat. Like some bits weren't so much needed. And I felt the game had some pacing issues as well at times. It's
forced,
especially when you're hurrying to the plate when Shinra's about to drop the plate on Sector 7. Or is it Sector 5? Sector 7, yeah. Or is it 5? Fuck me, I can't remember. But
who knows?
Shinra's about to drop the plate, and you're in the train graveyard, but they extended the train graveyard quite a lot. Right? So it's like, wow, they're going to drop the plate soon. But you're doing an extra 2 to 3 hours of content before you get to the plate dropping, and you're like, oh, how about that plate that's about to drop, hey?
They're really like any second now, like with their finger on top of the button. Like,
you know, it was just little things like that, and I just felt the pacing felt a bit like it felt like in the game that it was supposed to be a rushing moment, but you're going through all this train graveyard stuff. It was called the expanded train graveyard, but yeah, I don't know. I just felt like the pacing dropped off at that point, and there are a couple of parts like this in the game where it happened. One of the highlights of the game for me was actually the Shinra building towards the end, though. There was some really cool bits in that. They've heavily expanded the Shinra building, but kept in old classic things like you get a choice if you're going to take the elevator or the stairs up to the 50-something floor.
Yeah.
And in the original, if you go to the stairs, you had to run up all the stairs.
Okay.
They had that in this as well. So I chose stairs, and I had to run up 50-plus flights.
Oh my god!
Yeah.
All right, good to know. When I get there, take in the elevator.
Take the damn elevator. But we'll wrap up the review there. I know you're not scoring it, but look, it's a remake of one of my favorite games of all time. Only part 1, which I feel like it loses some marks because of that. Because I would have liked to see the whole thing done at once. Because I got to the end of this and I'm like, I just want to leave Midgar now. I want to go out into that big wide world.
Oh man, a big open world. I wonder if part 2 is going to be an open world game.
And as I said, there was some pacing issues, some bloat in the game, but I ended up giving it a 9.5.
Oh wow!
Yes. So Final Fantasy VII Remake is available now, and we're going to play the outro right now, Karl.
A long time ago, I made a promise, so.
Glad to have you back, Cloud. Really glad.
And we are back.
Ooh,
We are back. Do you like that?
Yeah, that's much better.
Yeah,
that's good.
That's a good trailer. That okay.
That's a good one.
Brian just asked, would you rather 1/3 of a game done really well or one whole game with 1/3 of the quality? Oh. I don't know.
Oh, that's a tough would you rather. Ooh, or 1/3 of the quality. You know what? I think I'd take a whole game at 1/3 of the quality because I'm someone who really loves the game Mad Max, and no one else likes it because they said it's not that good. But I think it's a fantastic game. It's a giant, big, huge, expansive world, you know. But I'm weird, so
Yeah.
maybe if they made that game in 3 parts and made a really good one part, but then they never released the next 2,
Yeah.
I don't know if I'd have as much enjoyment out of it.
Well, Reefy said definitely 1/3 done really well.
Yeah, but see, I don't like feeling. Imagine, and that was the end, and you never see anything anymore. I don't know. I don't know about that. I don't like being left without closure.
Okay. So when you went saw the Lord of the Rings, but you knew 2 more parts were coming, you were sad that they didn't release it all at once?
No. He's saying, I see Sin Spacey's question as like, you go and see the Lord of the Rings, and then they cancel the next 2 and go, that's the whole thing.
Yeah.
Or do you want to see all of it at once? I don't know. Maybe I'm not reading that question right.
Yeah.
I did think of Lord of the Rings.
Yeah.
There you go.
Well, there we go. All right, guys, we're rolling into questions time. I see we've got Reefy in chat now. Remember, guys, if you do want to send us questions, you can find us on Twitter at Game Train Talk. Please give us a follow. We're also on Facebook, facebook.com/Game Train Podcast. Please give us a follow on there too. Of course, we're on Twitch as well, twitch.tv/Game Train Twitch. Please jump on and follow us on here too. You can find us in lots of places. You can write to us in all sorts of ways. And we're not on OnlyFans, so sorry.
No OnlyFans.
No, we're not on there. But
I mean, depends though. Put some offers in, and we could figure anything out.
Yeah.
There's no such thing as no. Everything's for sale.
We're
Even
also
Callan.
on Instagram at Game Train Podcast on Instagram. But yes, we've got our first question in from Reefy. Do you ever think of old games you want a remake of? I'd love a Twisted Metal remake for online play on a new PS5, says Reefy.
Yes, that's 100% hardcore yes. I would love Twisted Metal. I mean, they should just do a Twisted Metal Battle Royale.
Mm-hmm. I would love Vagrant Story remade.
Oh, Vagrant
I always
Story.
bring this up when the remake question pops up. Vagrant Story.
Yeah.
An old Square RPG. It kind of flew under the radar, I think, for a lot of people. It was a really good RPG. I'd love to see it get a full remake with full voice acting, etc. I think it'd be really cool.
Yep. I'm going to ride that similar train, and I'd like to see Legend of Dragoon remade in the same way. That's another one that I really loved.
Yeah.
I wouldn't mind seeing like Drakengard 1 and 2 as well.
Yeah.
I really love those. Like the early, I think it's part of the lore of Nier Automata.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Those games were beautiful. You could ride a dragon, and it was a little bit like Dynasty Warriors, but you're a knight that could ride a dragon.
I'd also like a Chrono Trigger remake as well.
Yeah, I mean,
like they did with
maybe.
Secret of Mana.
I don't know. I didn't think Secret of Mana improved it at all.
Okay.
Only because it's. I guess that I'm biased towards that 16-bit era.
Yeah. Okay.
But then again, when it's done really well, like the Zelda games, those are done well sometimes.
Yeah,
that's a tough one. And I did used to say I'd love them to just remake Tony Hawk's Pro Skater 1 and 2.
Yeah,
properly. But hopefully that happens.
Final Fantasy VI is another one I think could really do good with a full remake treatment, full voice.
Again, that looks so nice already. But yeah, that would be.
Oh, I'd love to see that.
That would be very interesting. True that.
Girls Garden HD. Girls Garden was the creator of Sonic's first ever game. Well, there we go. Got a bit of trivia in there. But yeah, have we got any more questions before we move on, chat? Or are we all good to move on?
Yeah, okay, let's chat. Let's see. Any more questions? Anything at all? Do you want to ask about Callan's walls and why they look like...
Stop trying to give shit to my walls, man.
Mate, your walls are like my fun.
Dude, your background's too cluttered to crap.
It is. Too much stuff there.
Yeah. What's this? You got Raider.
Uncensored.
You got Raider. You've got Keyland. You've got.
Keyland. I can't see Keyland in the Twitch. I look a lot nicer here in the Zoom. Why don't you make me look like this?
I've sort of had to cut you down a little to get you into the box.
Oh, we don't need your one. Just make yours really teeny tiny.
Wow. That's amazing. All right. I guess we should start wrapping up the episode anyway. It's all good. Yeah.
Get some color, Callan. Oh.
Aw, I feel it's okay. What's a figurine that you'd like to be able to make that has never been made? Game related.
Ooh. I mean, I really, really wanted speaking of which, a Nier Automata one.
Yeah.
I've seen some of them, but I don't know if since Spaceys means like action figure with joints or like a more like statuette type thing like you get with special edition of games and stuff, because I've seen that one in action figures, but I haven't seen like just a really good quality statuette of it.
Statue, yeah.
Yeah, okay, cool. Well, that's my answer. 2B.
Oh. I don't know. I don't know.
I want everything in statues, man. I love them.
Yeah. I don't know. I'd
like into that.
Maybe a really high quality Gohan statue.
Those are everywhere.
But a high quality one.
Yeah. Have you been to Japan?
No, I haven't. No.
When you go to the statue shop, there's like a Dragon Ball Z section, and then all the
Gohan was in video games since Space. What about a Tifa statue?
Ooh, yep.
Yeah.
Wow, that'd be fun. I'm sure those must be around, but I haven't tried looking. You know what? It's actually pretty hard to find, which I have looked for a while. It's just a decent Tomb Raider statue.
Really?
That's not like cheap and hideous. Yeah. There's heaps of them, but they're all like $70 ones, like not the really nice, $200 to $500, like really beautifully crafted. I just had so much trouble finding any decent Tomb Raider ones. I think some of the bigger name popular ones you don't see as much, and I don't know what that is, whether it's a licensing thing or third parties aren't allowed to make it, and I don't know what it is.
Yeah, fair enough. Yeah, that was a cool question. Thank you, Sin Spaces.
Cool
Thanks
question.
for that. All right, guys, we're going to roll into the end of the episode here with the lame, love, and hype trains. Are you ready for this, Karl?
I'm so ready.
All right, here comes the lame train. Okay, Karl, what's your lame train this week?
My lame train is that all your notifications are on my face. It's just the worst thing.
Yeah. Okay.
No, I'm having a pretty good run. I mean, like you said, we haven't really jumped on and did a podcast one after the other. Oh, come on.
Thank you, Spaces, for the 100 biddies. I do appreciate it. Thank you.
Oh.
Every time.
Thank you.
Yeah.
That is awfully nice of you. I don't know if it came from the heart or from the red devil on your right shoulder.
Yeah.
But thank you anyway. Yes, that's my lame train.
Oh, it is?
Yeah, it is.
Oh, okay.
What I was going to say is that this is one of the quickest times that we've just done an episode, then came back and done another one. And things haven't been so lame.
Oh, okay.
So it's been
I've got a couple that I want to get through here.
Good old Callan. You can take mine then.
Okay, so my first one is Karl. He still hasn't visited my Animal Crossing island. I know we're going to go an episode without talking Animal Crossing, but here we are. Karl still hasn't visited my island, so no.
God damn it. We've mentioned Dark Souls and Animal Crossing.
And then I had my normal one, but then Karl's like, I lied about my leaderboard score on this leaderboard thing. So I'm like, yep, that too. So Karl's lies is the other one.
Right. Well, you didn't even comment on my leaderboard, so...
Yeah.
I didn't think you were that impressed.
Yeah. You show you're 13th in the world at something, it's pretty impressive, and then it's a lie.
Yeah, but I didn't get any reply. If you said something, I would have let you keep that lie for the rest of your life.
Oh, my God. But, okay, so my proper lame train is this, right? So the other night, I was streaming some Assassin's Creed Odyssey, right? I was doing the... the Atlantis DLC. I was doing the Underworld part, the second part of the 3. I was like, this is awesome. Got up to the end, did the final battle there, beat the boss, was like, oh my gosh, we've got Atlantis coming. Here we go. Finish off that area, whoops me back into Greece, and I'm standing there and I'm like, where's the next part? Where's the next part? And I'm wandering around the Atlantis area in Greece. I'm like, there's no quest. And I'm like, there's no quest here. And then Karl's on the thing. It's like, no, the quest is right there. I'm like, no, it's not there, man. It's not there. I'm like, I don't know, maybe it's not installed or something for some weird reason. And then I checked my install list on Assassin's Creed Odyssey, and that part of the game wasn't installed. So
everything else was there.
So I had to end stream, and so this was all live on Twitch when I was doing this, when this was happening. And yeah, so then I had to go download the third part.
Yeah, that's a great lame train.
It was so bad. I was just so annoyed. I was so excited to get to that new place too, which was incredible when I did get there. All right.
Yes, that was worth it.
All right, are you ready for Love Train, sir?
I'm so ready.
All right, here we go. All right, Karl, what's your Love Train this week?
My love train is that it kind of goes out to all things, but mostly in the gaming industry. I love that all games, well, not all games, but most and a lot of the games are seemingly back on track, and people are figuring out how to work from home a lot quicker than most people expected. Mm-hmm. And that what looked like it was going to be a crumbling time for the whole industry was kind of, it was more of a very big, scary, forced readjustment time. Mm-hmm. And as soon as people did it, and like you saw like one company do it, then another started, and they all sort of got help from each other and figured things out by seeing how others did things. And then we're just starting to see a lot more release dates coming back sooner than I expected. And then even people revealing new games, which I thought people would really hold back from because of the whole COVID things. I thought they'd just like go, okay, let's just try and make the games that are already coming and finish those, and let's not reveal new games for the future for a while. That's kind of what I saw coming, but all that didn't come to fruition. Things are looking like they're back on track, at least business-wise and game-wise. Like, I don't know about the world and health, but just the situations in that world of like just releasing those. And I think it's because also they're seeing more success than they expected with things like, Animal Crossing, and like games being released and just still being successful.
Oh, look, Animal Crossing couldn't release at more of a perfect time than it did. That was ridiculous.
Yeah, that's a bit crazy.
Yeah.
Yeah. But yeah, so that's my love train, is that it seems like things are coming back on track with things like that, with game release. I'm
going to counteract your argument here.
Yes.
As much as it seems things are getting on track, I don't think we'll see it really impact until next year, because the games that are already in development now, like for this year, would have been at stages when all the voice acting's done, all the scores are done. Like, they'd be doing a lot of bug stamping out and polishing, which they could do at home. But the big stuff like recording all voiceovers, doing orchestral scores and that, they can't do any of that at the moment still. So we're not going to feel those effects on those games that don't have those parts of the game done until into next year.
Yeah, the orchestral stuff, that's for sure. But I am specifically talking about things like voice acting and stuff. I think they're figuring out how to do that from home. And in places where they can have like 2 or 3 people, I think they're going to figure that stuff out and sharing assets.
I don't think they'd be doing voice acting from home. That'd be insane to try and do.
I mean, I suppose, but so would a lot of these things. It's an insane time of the world.
Yeah, true. Since Spaces, try buying a webcam or gaming PC right now. Lol.
Well, that's so true. Lucky we did all that 2 years ago.
My love train this week is massive DLC like in Assassin's Creed Odyssey.
Nice.
That's 30 plus hours of DLC they've given there. CD Projekt Red did it with The Witcher, with its DLC as well. Big story DLCs are awesome. Tiny 1 hour DLC bits that you got to pay a lot of money for are crap.
Yeah, ones that add like just silly things or like new points, or things you can collect around the world that you've already been in.
Yeah,
like these are awesome. Like Undead Nightmare and Ballad of Gay Tony, those kind of things. Those are awesome.
Horse Armor, says Brian. The original DLC.
Horse
Yeah.
armor, it's funny because no one would just bat an eye at horse armor anymore.
Nah, people would love horse armor now. But
Dude, it's like $3.
Yeah.
The kids are paying that every single day on Fortnite now.
Yeah.
The equivalent of horse
but
armor.
yeah, it's a big, good quality DLC like in Assassin's Creed Odyssey that I've played through because it's worth the money. It's like it almost feels like an extra game.
Yeah, it's like the Brotherhood or Revelations being added on to
Yeah, yeah,
Assassin's Creed 2.
exactly. All right, you ready for Hype Train?
I'm so ready for Hype Train.
Okay, here we go. Hype Train time. All right, Hype Train time, Carl. What are you hyped for?
All right. Well, I'm going to remain hyped for Tony Hawk Pro Skater 1 and 2 until that comes out. So I just got to put that there real quick.
Okay.
But my hype train is there's a whole bunch of the Summer Game Fest things still coming, and you can check all that out on the Summer Game Fest website, and you can look at the schedule, all different things coming. But one of the ones on June 11 is the Night City Wire, where they're doing a whole piece on Cyberpunk.
Oh, did you see the shot of the Badlands?
No, I didn't want to see anything until that.
Oh, okay. CD Projekt Red themselves released a still of one of the cars in the game, which is in the Badlands.
Ah, okay.
Yeah.
Because I saw something written about it. I was like, nah, I don't want to see it.
Yeah.
Because it was while I was reading that, actually. So
Yeah.
I quickly scrolled away because I wanted to be wowed by it. But I will have to go check that out. But I'm actually really hyped. Usually I'm like not into that kind of thing. But if it's shared by the company, CD Projekt Red stuff, I'm just like, give it to me. Just give me that stuff. And I'm hoping it's a deep dive like they did on Ghosts. But, something a bit more like that.
Well, they've done a couple of deep dives already, so I don't know what else they're really going to show. I don't think they really need to show anything else at this stage.
Well, see, this is kind of what I'm interested in. It's like, it's such a big flex because they've shown hours of that game.
Yeah.
So the game must be just astronomically huge.
Yep.
Right in the time when everyone else who was making huge games was saying like they're backing down with the GTA 6s and the Assassin's Creed, saying like, oh, it's not as big as our other stuff, Whereas these guys look like they're just like, nah, we're going all out. We're going to show hours and hours and hours and hours, and that's our trailer.
Yeah.
Like, wow.
Gameplay.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Oh,
Gameplay. I'm still waiting for Ubisoft's conference in July, is it? Or June?
Oh, jeez. If it doesn't show gameplay, man, I'm out.
They'll show
What are you hyped for?
Oh, what am I hyped for? I'm excited for Man Eater.
Yeah.
Which is the shark RPG. It's Grand Theft Auto, but you're a shark. That's right. It is out tomorrow, May 22nd. I'll be streaming it probably a bit tomorrow as well when I start playing it. I'm excited for this, to be a big shark and swim around and eat people.
Big shark in the big water.
That's right. That's what I'm excited about. So yeah, it's a simple one. But again, we're going to be back again next week, everyone, with our Man-Eater Shark RPG review. That's right. Hey. We'll be reviewing Man-Eater the Shark game next week on Game Train. So it should be that one should be a bit of fun because it's just such a ridiculous concept. So. Such a ridiculous concept. I think it's something we need at the moment. It's just a stupid concept to just have a laugh at.
Yeah, I really think that's a good call.
So
it's gonna be still, like, if you guys don't know what it is, just like look it up.
Yeah.
Man-Eater. Have a laugh at that trailer so that you're on the same page, and then
Yeah, good times. Since Spacey says best shark game of the year. Yes, it probably will be since Spacey's. All right, guys, that is it for episode 80 of Game Train. Remember, next week we will be back for more Game Train, Man-Eater, Baby Shark, says Twan the Pants. Thanks for that, Twan. Anything else you'd like to add there before we finish up, Carl?
Nice to see you, Twan the Pants.
Okay, cool, wonderful. Thank you very much, guys. And as always, it's been Game Train.